The FNL Network Talk Show.
Good day, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to the FNL Network Talk Show. I am Geoff Owens, your host, and I have co-hosts Marianne and James on today. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's good. It's good to see y'all. You know, it's always good to come over here and relate with y'all and have an hour of downtime just to enjoy y'all. But I have three topics that I'm actually going to talk about. The three topics are, let me just get it really quick, y'all. Prince Andrew settles sexual abuse lawsuit with accuser Virginia Geoffrey, as that's how you say it. International pressures mounts on Putin to not invade UK. And Global National J, which is Canada, researchers finding security flaws in China's Olympic app. So those are my three topics. I want to get to the first topic, which is Prince Andrew settled his sexual abuse lawsuit with Virginia. But the thing that I, even though they settled it, the thing that I'm struggling with, the issue was not resolved. If he did those things, to me, money got him out of the situation, even though he stepped down from all his royal lineage, titles, titles. I still think he should be held accountable for what he did. I think it should have went forth, but I think they paid it off because they didn't want to scar the royal family anymore. They didn't want it to bring that, that royal lineage down to any more disputes or any more issues where it may have caused them uproar or attention is drawn to them. So they paid him off. So I just feel like he still need to be held accountable for what he did. If he did it or if he did it, I think it should have went to the judge and went forth. So James, I just want to get your opinion on it. What do you feel, your opinion on that situation? How do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, it's over with now. I mean, the case is closed. I believe that it was all about money from the onset. She's already been paid off once. She was paid off millions of dollars when it was handled through the Florida courts. And then she reemerged and asked for more money. So, of course, I'm sure he's not without his offenses that he's done. Hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, and his only excuse was, well, I should have hung out with Jeffrey. Well, no, you should have controlled yourself. At any rate, it's over, and I'm sure she's got her pocket full of coins.
Yeah, I still feel like even though she got the money, I still like it should have still.
But but you know what? That's
money buys everything, and I think it's unfair. I think a lot of time people flash money in people's in front of people's mindset, and the thing is they're going to jump on it because there's a need there. But I think sometimes money can be a cripple to a situation that has not been resolved. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah,
even though the money, she's getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah, but when you ask me what my opinion is, I'm telling you that when someone says it's not about the money, it's all about the money.
Yeah.
And her people kept saying, this is not about the money. This is not about the money. Well, if it's not about the money, why'd you hold out for almost $10 million?
Yeah.
So it's all about the money.
Yeah, it's a lot. It was a lot of money. So what is your opinion on it, Marianne?
So I think I can definitely see what both of you said. I do think he should be held accountable for what he did. From everything I have seen, he did not admit what he had. There's no admission of guilt. But like James was saying, if she held out for that much money, that's a lot. And how much is enough? So I do see both sides. I do think that absolutely he should be held accountable for any sexual abuse that he committed. But I also think that, waiting and holding off for more and more money, what's the real motivation? That's what I would wonder. What is the question? What is in your mind? What are you looking for? Are you looking for attention, or are you looking for money, or do you really just want to get this settled?
Yeah, that's crazy, that you say that, because I feel like a lot of times in our society, people, once they get up on the TV, they just want their name out there. So, they create these events so that they can people can focus on them, and then next thing you know, she'll be on some book or she'll be in some movie, something to be written on it. And it's everything, like you said, it does come back to one root, which is money. And it's unfortunate that's how our society is and how it moves. And I just wish that there would be some change in some of the things that we do when it comes to money and wealth. It's the root of all evil, and a lot of people use it as a stepping stone to get what they want, and it's unfair. And money talks. So that's how I feel on it. And I thank y'all for your opinion.
Money talks, money walks, money sings, money dances, money does it all.
I know, but you know what's so funny? That's our issue right now in the United States, is the money. It is what it is.
But you got to have money to get through life. And
yeah,
listen, I believe that she and the others, they were all perhaps could have been initially day one victimized, but when you come back time after time after time, you're no longer the victim. No matter what your age is, right from wrong, what feels good and what doesn't feel good. And they put themselves in that situation. They allowed themselves to be put in that situation that you can't blame others. Sometimes you have to take responsibility. It's all about self-responsibility in life.
Yeah, that's true. I hear what you're saying, but sometimes when they're so young and that happens to them at a young age,
but what was she,
that child
when she's 16, 17,
fearful.
Did you not know what you were doing at 16 years of age?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, not really, because as a child, I was one of those victims and got molested. So I know what it feels like.
At what age?
Kind of behind that and not want to come forth because you feel like you were the person that caused that issue. So it is hard for someone if
but
they're in a situation.
How
it's
were you?
Because they're unknowledgeable. They're 16 years old, and you have somebody that's grown and mature that's coercing them into a situation that once they get in it, they feel liable, that they feel ashamed, and they don't want to tell anybody what initially happened to them. So they keep it in shame. And then eventually when people start coming forth, that's when they come forth, because some people are scared to come forth. So it takes one person to come forth and then everybody else follow behind that. So I just feel like sometimes it's hard to weigh that when you're in that situation. You have to be in that situation to totally understand where they're coming from, because 15 and 16-year-old, they don't, to me, you don't have the mindset to think on that level. You're just not going to be thinking of going to tell somebody, oh, I'm having sex, or this person is manipulating me, because to me, it was manipulation. Regardless of what you say, if you're a grown adult and you're forcing a 16-year-old to do something or have sex with you, I feel like it's manipulation. Their mindset is different.
Yeah. But the thing is that in a lot of states, especially southern states, what's the legal age? 16 for consent? 17?
Yeah.
So I know, but Virginia Geoffrey, she got a landfall. Like you said, there's going to come a book. There's going to become a mini series. There's going to become, because it possesses all the ingredients of something that the American public wants to look at and revisit. Yeah. So, I mean, just like OJ, they had the mini series about him and his exploits and murdering of Nicole and Ronald Goldman. So it's coming, and she's gonna get a pay. She's gonna get a payout there too.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
She's probably got a booking agent already.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, she probably does. Yeah. What do you say, Marianne?
Something that I actually also read was, and I was surprised to read this, that Prince Andrew, and I don't know how much truth there is to it, but somewhere that he said that he was not a wealthy man, and that the taxpayers are beginning to wonder where the money's going to come from. I did see
that noise. Somebody rattling papers?
Not me.
It might be the network. It's not me.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What are you saying, Marianne?
Oh, just saying that I think what I read, it was saying that he's not a wealthy man, even though you would think he is, and that a lot of the taxpayers are questioning where are the funds going to come from. And I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, because they get paid for being in that royal lineage. And when I read the same thing. They said that she's paying out of her pocket. She's the one that's paying that, but he has to pay it back or something like that. But the taxpayers, they were like, where are y'all getting all this money to pay her? Because we pay y'all to be on that, that establishment, to be the one actually taking care of that.
Oh, please don't be fooled. They've got plenty of money. Plenty of money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if the queen paid it off, because supposedly he's her favorite, I'm sure she might have just said, here, give her this money and let's just get on to the new diamond. What is it? What's the new Jubilee, the 70th anniversary of her being on the monarchy?
I'm not even sure.
I don't know. The platinum, probably platinum.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. But listen, I have a certain affinity. I like the royal family, even though they're probably all corrupt and crazy. I enjoy watching them.
You're funny. But yeah, so that's my opinion. Thank y'all for your opinion. So we're gonna go to the next topic, which is international pressures mount on how can he say his name? Putin to not invade UK. So all this is, all this.
Wait a minute, hold on. He's gonna invade the UK, United Kingdom?
No. I'm sorry. Invade. I'm sorry, y'all.
What? You mean Ukraine?
Ukraine, yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a lot going on.
A lot happened overnight.
Now UK, I'm sorry. Ukraine, I apologize. In Russia, everything that they're doing, I apologize. But everything that he's doing to back them in a corner because he don't want them to become an independent nation. That's really why he's doing it. But it's crazy that he has so many people in fear, and we poured out and left and they feel like they were abandoned. And, it's just so much going over there and things are mounting. And, the Olympics is going on right now. All that's going on. And it just seems like it's so strategically orchestrated. And I feel like it's like red flag to me. So what is y'all opinion on that with all this uproar that's happening right now? And James, I want to ask you.
You're gonna ask me first? Okay. Well, I mean, they, according to Biden, Putin was supposed to invade the Ukraine on the 16th at 3 a.m. He had it down to the minute. And of course, that came and went and nothing happened. That was 2 days ago. And now I think they're playing Biden because they know Biden's such a fool. So they keep feeding him all this information. And Biden is getting on the phone with the president of Ukraine saying, he's going to invade, trying to get him all worked up. I mean, for some strange reason, or should I say no strange reason, why is it that the Democrats always want war? They always trying to encourage, because I guess it feathers their nest financially. And I said this before, if there is an imminent war with Ukraine from Russia, invest in Raytheon, because that's where all the money's going to be made. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know that Putin's trying to reunite the former Soviet Union, the USSR, and Ukraine is one of the former territories. I don't know if they're gonna do it or what's going on, but the people in Ukraine are saying nothing seems to be happening here. We're all's good. They're out in the restaurants, they're out in the shops, they're out in the grocery stores, they're out doing their thing. So I think that the media, the corporate global media can most definitely provoke nations and cause tension and cause people to react. And I think that's what's going on here.
Oh, okay. So what is your opinion on that, Marianne?
I think a lot of it is Putin trying to scare people. I really do. I think he knows that if he does this, it could be devastating to the Russian economy because the West is going to impose a lot of sanctions. They've already said that they would. So I think a lot of this is being done to scare people. And, like James had said, if people are out and about shopping, are they all worried that he's going to do this, or do they know that it's just, all talk? And Biden had said a few days ago that he could invade anytime. It hasn't happened yet. I don't put a lot of faith in what Biden says.
Yeah.
So I don't really think he knows much about it at all. I think with Russia, it is scare tactics. That's my opinion.
I completely agree. Listen, Biden does not know what to think until he's told what to think. And so I really wish and hope that there is no war. But if it's provoked or something by the media, and listen, Putin's a very smart man. He may be evil, but he's a very smart man.
Yeah.
And so we will just, I guess, cross our fingers and hope and pray. My biggest concern about the trucking, not to change the subject here, but the trucking convoy that's supposed to be starting up in California and making its way to DC. So anybody out there who may need anything special like medications or whatever, I'd go out there and start stocking up on them, because what we saw happening in Canada is getting ready to happen here in the United States. So there's going to be a lot of shortages in certain places. So prepare.
So it seems like it's an uproar all over the world, and it's unfortunate. It just seems like we are in times where we're almost in famine times. People don't want to deal with reality. There's shortage on so much of food and everything. Prices are going up. Car prices are doubling. It's just crazy, and I don't understand how they think that the people are going to be able to survive. So I think we just really, like you said, I'm really praying, because there's so much going on in the earth, and we don't know who to look for as a leader to guide us out of this situation that we're entrapped in right now. We truly are entrapped in some major situations where it can go left really, really quick. Nobody's coming forth with a problem, with the solution, and it's very unfortunate. So I'm just praying that, there will be awakening, and that this will be over soon, because it's too long. It's been going on too long, and people are hurting and people are dying. They really want a solution to the problem. And to me, there are no solution to the problem right now. It's just war tactics, and people are playing chess game with people's lives. And we want to go on with our life and not feel like something major is going to happen in the world. So that's my opinion on that.
Well, I mean, the inflation rate is 7.5%. And so that's, let's see, how's it? Let me think. The consumer price index for January, this just came out this last month, for consumer goods rose 7.5% compared to a year ago, which is the highest since 1982, I believe, which is 40 years. And so that's like 83% of the Americans say that inflation is the problem, the biggest problem for them and their families under Biden. Of course, used cars are up 40.5%, I believe. Energy prices, which is your gas, your natural gas, is up 27%. Food prices are up like almost 10% in some areas. Gas prices are like 40%. Fast food prices, you go to McDonald's, things like that, everything, they're up like 8 to 10%. Your clothing cost, I think you want to get new clothes because of the import expenses, is up almost 6%. Everything is up. I mean, I'm the president of a condo association, and the insurance that covers our building, our cost has risen like 35%. And we just had an increase a couple months ago already, and people are freaking out because a lot of these people are on fixed incomes. So it's just, and people go, oh, well, it was transit. It's going to be transitory. It ain't transitory. It's a permanent. We've got to do something, and we got to do something fast. They're trying their best, them being the Democrat and the Biden administration, is trying to, I believe, inflict as much pain on the American people as possible to get them screaming for electric cars. Give me electric cars. I can't afford this gasoline. Okay, fine. Then that's what we'll do. We'll do away with fossil fuel vehicles, and we'll implement mandatory electric cars, and you'll all be happy. Well, where does electricity come from? It comes from coal.
Yeah.
So these people are idiots, and they think we are. And the American people and the people around the world who have just gone along to get along because they've been happy with their lives or contented with their lives are rising up and saying, you know what? No more, baby. We want you out of office. And I mean, listen, there will be an overthrow in this country if this government thinks that for 1 second they can push these people around. They're not going to put up with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading a thing earlier about the Department of Homeland Security talking about all these people who are wanting to gather in synagogues, churches, and other places, and large numbers, or they're calling them a threat to government. I'm like, what? We have the right to peacefully assemble as Americans. We are guaranteed that right. And so they're trying to restrict the American people's movement, thoughts, coming together, assemblage. So there may come a time where you're gonna have to rise up and let your voice be heard more so than just on an internet screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. I feel like it's coming and people are tired.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I'm really tired.
yeah.
Marianne, you have anything to say?
No, I am. I'm beyond tired of. It's been long enough because a lot of people that work a full-time job and they're seeing these prices go up. And I noticed it right around when COVID hit. Everything went way up, and people can't afford anything. And it's so frustrating because it's like Jen said, since 1982, the inflation has gone up the most since that time. I don't think people are going to stand for it much longer. I know I can't.
No, I don't think people are going to stand for it. I think people are tired. People are tired of being weighed down with the burdens of sorrow, and people are getting in a place where they're just tired and they're ready to act and be proactive in the situation. So yeah, let's just continue praying, that, like I said, that things will change in the world because it needs to be changed. So I have my last topic, which is Canadian resources find security flaws in China Olympic app. So I just really wanted to talk about that because it kind of to me, the attack is happening even on the cyber part where they're trying to control, and people that are part of the Olympics, they're saying that the what is it called? Hold on, I have it. Hold on, really quick, y'all. I have it, what it is, the app that they want them to download, China, so they can keep contact of them.
Yeah, monitor.
Sure
monitor their words.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they did not say, but they're saying that they're monitoring them with the COVID and all that. So they're trying to get them to download this certain device. I'm trying to locate it. Hold on really quick. I apologize, y'all. Where is it at? I apologize because I had it on the tip of my throat. Potential. Is
it WeChat?
Yes, that the thing that they're trying to get them to use.
WeChat is the Chinese version of like Twitter or even WhatsApp. It's their internal messaging format.
But they said there's a flaw in it, and they said,
of course it is.
There's links you can actually link your information, and even it's with the connection of the 5G and all that's going on in the airport. All this stuff is cyber stuff that's affecting the world right now. But the Olympics, with our people being over there, I feel like everything is in an attack right now, and it's unfortunate that the way things are happening with the cyber that's going on, and they feel like their information can be hacked. So what do you feel about that with, our people being over there and they're in the Olympics, and they feel like their information has been hacked. Do you feel like it's all strategic? What are your opinions on that? What do you feel about that, Marianne?
I think yes. I think it's on purpose. When, for example, when journalists go to China, they tell them to get a burner phone and wipe their laptop of data. And that's for a reason. There are, security cameras all over the place in China, like a bunch more than we have here. And what I saw about this app, when they're using it, these people's personal information can be compromised. Everything that they have on their phone can be compromised. So I do think it's on purpose, because it's essentially communist.
What do you mean? Essentially, it is communist. They are one of the most ruthless, authoritarian governments ever to exist. And they're only getting worse as their power and their power grab throughout the world continues. They are the worst. I mean, I've been to China once, and that was just passing through. I flew on China Eastern Airlines on my way to India, and we had like a 15-hour layover in Shanghai, and we got a hotel room and everything. But just walking, people were robotic looking. They were like no expression, no outward emotions were being shown, except for a little kid in a restaurant came up to our table and was just staring at us, smiling because we were odd looking. And so it was just really, I just had a heavy feeling on me the whole time I was there, thinking, I'm so glad I don't live in a country like this. The same feeling I had when I first traveled as a teenager at 17 years of age. I flew to Athens, Greece. And when I got off the airplane, there were all these military guys with machine guns strapped across their bodies at the airport. And I thought, wow, I'm so glad I don't live in a country like this. And so everywhere I would go, I would see things and I would compare it. People saying, oh, women have it so bad in the United States. I'm like, well, I just came back from Morocco. I've seen, women have it different, pretty oppressed or whatever. This country, for all of our flaws and all of our historical flaws, is the best place that anybody can ever. That's why they're killing and climbing and swimming and doing everything they can, paying off coyotes to get here, because this is the best country in the world. And we can only take in so many. And for those who are American citizens who don't like this country or think that it's not everything that they want it to be, there's an exit strategy. You can forfeit your citizenship and you can take off, and we can replace you with somebody who wants to be here. I mean, look at the Chinese girl or the American who was raised in California of Chinese parents who forfeited her American citizenship to compete in the Olympics as a skater. And of course, she wiped out and did a horrible job, and she's probably going to end up missing. So, the reason why people are relinquishing their American citizenship and their passport to compete for China, it goes back to the whole thing with that Geoffrey. It's all about the money. MONEY. They come to her through an emissary or a representative of the country and say, we would like for you to represent China, coming forward the next Olympics, blah, blah, blah. This is the amount of money we're prepared to give you. Are you interested? Absolutely, she says. And so she goes and performs and competes. I mean, they're doing the same thing with the hockeys. They got people who were born in Canada who relinquished their citizenship, Canadian citizenship, to compete on behalf of the Chinese government. So it's all about money. Money is a very powerful thing. And people always say, oh, money's not everything. That's for people who don't have it. When you have money, you realize what a positive tool it can be and all the good you can do with it, but it also can do bad. Like Jeff said, it can corrupt. But money is not only corrupting. Money can also save lives. Money can do a lot of good things, and you have to respect it. You just don't abuse it. Try not to. I mean, money's too hard for me to come by, so I have to work hard for mine, and I hold on to it as tightly as I can.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's true. Marianne?
I think, James, I think you are on fire. I think that is absolutely correct. the love of money, that's the saying, the love of money is the root of evil, but we're all going to have some. And if it's used for good, then I think it can make a very positive difference. But if it's used for bad or for manipulation, it can also cause evil. It's the cause behind it that's good or bad, not the money itself.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, so I do believe that. So that's my three topics. Do anybody have anything that they want to bring to the forefront that they have on their heart that they want to discuss? You have free reign to discuss that because we have a few minutes.
Well, I mean, I think we should talk about the truckers, the trucker convoy that is definitely going to come. I believe March 1st is when they're planning on organizing it and bringing it from the West Coast to Washington, D.C. I mean, I don't see there's any other way to get the politicians in charge attention and tell them enough is enough. Don't tell me that you are for the children and you do everything in your power to harm them by keeping them masked under the guise of, oh, well, it's not up to us. It's up to Weingartner of the school board. This government colludes with private industry or organizations to get them to do their dirty work, and they reward them financially if they follow their narrative or their storyline. So when you have a child who is 6, 7, 8 years old, they don't need to have a mask on their face 8 hours a day. That is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, the teacher is not unmasked. I mean, all these people you saw, all these celebrities who were preaching about mask mandates and how, they should be ticketed and you should be put in jail if you don't adhere to it. Well, they're all seen at the Super Bowl with no mask on.
Yeah.
And the same ones, Charlize Theron, all these people, Ellen, all these people who are preaching pro mask mandates, pro this, pro that. And yet they're out there. It's just like with, what's her name? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez coming from New York to Miami Beach and hanging out with no mask on and drinking and carrying on. Yet people in her district are required to not be able to go into a restaurant unless they have a mask on their face or a diaper, as they say. It's hypocrisy. And if you don't, make a fuss of this, you just can't shake your head and say, oh, well, that's politics. No, these people need to be thrown out of office. And how do you get their attention? They're going to have to, convene on Washington, D.C. with their semi trucks and gridlock everything and lock down the political seat of this nation and say, we're not going to take it anymore. Enough with your blah, 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 saying one thing and doing another. So, the old saying, rules for thee, but not for me. So we are going to hold them accountable. And I think it's a great thing. And I think we need to have more of that. I mean, I think they put out, I know they did, because I read it. One of the representatives who's now been arrested in Canada, in Ottawa, put out a memo saying that, if you have to get anything, please stock up because we are coming to the United States and we don't want to hurt the people. We don't want to hurt the people, but we want to shake up the political classes and the elites and say enough is enough. Quit harming and destroying intentionally the people which you govern, which you may have been elected or, even bureaucrats who are not elected who are making these rules and decisions. So we shall see, but I just hope that because look what they've done. And Trudeau, he's such a, when he was asked in a forum, you may not have seen the video, but Sun News in Canada had an excerpt or a clip, and they asked, or not asked, he just volunteered from the clip I saw, what nation he admired the most. And he said China. He loved their ability to have dictatorship. And yeah, so, and I can send that to you all afterwards. Yeah. I can send it to the chat. But the thing is that we have to it's not about the words, what people say. It's what the actions, the deeds that people, pursue. And so the Democratic Party has become so anti-family, so religion, so anti-freedom, so anti-everything. And there's an old saying, if you ever find yourself on the side of the majority, step back and realize you're doing something wrong, because the political classes never do anything right. In my opinion, they rarely ever get it right. We, the people, are the ones who get it right. And ultimately, we're going to correct it, and we're going to get them all back into doing the right thing. But it's going to be a very hard fought war, and it is going to be a war. And I don't necessarily mean with guns and with weaponry, but I mean that it's going to be an exhausting time period.
Yeah.
And it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
They've gotten away with so much. They've stolen so much power. And the only way to get it out of their hands is to fight them for it, because they're not going to relinquish it. They're not going to do the right thing. They never have, and they never will. So buckle yourselves in, as they say. Buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Marianne?
I'm in the amen section. As far as the kids wearing masks, I've been in schools, I've seen them. I have friends that are teachers. They don't put them on the right way. They don't lead them on the right way. And it defeats the purpose. And again, like I said last week, the CDC, they're always coming up with new this and that. This time it's, a cloth mask doesn't work anymore. You have to use an N95. And they keep changing things, and everything feels forced. And when I was growing up, my dad had this saying that some people say, do as I say, not as I do. And this is what is happening. People are saying, do this, do that, wear your mask, stay away. You can't do this if you're not vaccinated. But they themselves don't wear one. They're going out in big groups. So it's very hypocritical to do that, but they're doing it. And people are going to have to come together and say, we're done with this, no more.
It's like back in the 60s when women had bra burning parties where they would take their bras off and burn their bras. I think take your mask off and never put one on again. I mean, granted, there are people who are vulnerable. There are people who are in a high risk factor, who have, multiple comorbidities, who are overweight or diabetic or whatever. Of course, they should really continue to protect themselves. But then you wear a mask if you possess these things. Do not tell your neighbor or the people down the street or the one next to you in the grocery line that they have to put on a mask. No, you put on a mask. If you're concerned about health and your health, protect yourself. That's my opinion. That's been my opinion from my day one.
Absolutely. I agree. And there's people that they're the mask police. They go out and they fuss and they give you the evil eye and they get mad if you're not wearing one. But the whole point is your mask protects you. If you want to wear one, if you want to be protected, then you wear one. I'm not going to go stand in someone's face and cough on them.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget at the very beginning of all of this at Costco. I mean, they back again, the governments were mandating shutting down family-owned or small businesses, but allowing the big box stores like Costco and Home Depot and Lowe's and Walmart to remain open. And you have to stop and ask yourself, why is that? Why is it that a small family business, are they intentionally trying to put them out of business, or a small restaurant put them out of business, but not the big chains? So anyway, I was at Costco one day and I saw this man who was standing over by the soft drinks, picking up a case of Coke, and he didn't have his mask on. And a man went up to him, got real close, put your mask on. I was like, if you're so concerned about something he may be transmitting, why don't you just go down the other aisle?
Yeah.
And I just thought, this mass formation psychosis that they talk about, it is real. People are really crazy. It makes you crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
and so I mean, the old saying or the new sayings that they're saying, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Do your thing and let everybody else do their thing.
Yeah.
And that's just, it just amazes me and it saddens me that people that I once held in high regards, that I thought were smart and that were wise, have become some of the most stupidest, most ignorant, sheepish people on the planet. I go, oh, wow. It's been a revelation. It really has opened my eyes to human nature, more so the bad side of human nature. So, but I'm still here and you're still here and we're still doing our thing. So
Yeah. 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 We're still doing our thing. So, but yeah, James, you haven't been yourself today on the show.
what do you mean?
You're normally kind of perky and you're just kind of mellowed out today. You
Oh,
good?
well,
I'm the love. I love the love. Like I feel you. Like you're just not James.
no, you want me to be mean?
No, that's not you.
No, I mean, I think the words can only do so much because I think there are people in certain situations that are beyond repair that the whole, the saying is be the change you want to see in the world. Quit trying to tell people what they should do and shouldn't do because it's fruitless. They don't listen. So you just do your thing and be the best you can be. And hopefully you'll be an inspiration to others. But I'm tired of trying to tell people, hey, this is what's going on. Open your eyes, wake up.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear it. If they are comatose or if they're sleepwalking through life, they don't want to hear it. They're happy right where they are, no matter what they pretend. But they say don't wake a sleepwalker because you might startle them and they'll hurt themselves. And that's the truth. You might hurt a sleepwalker. What? And they don't want to be awakened to what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
They have their little rose-colored glasses and they're contented. And they think that, oh, Trump's the bad one. Trump tweeted at 4 a.m., this, that, and the other. Please, come on. I don't care what he says or what he does. All I care is the policies and the end results.
Yeah.
So
Make the wrong right. Yeah.
here we are, here we are with somebody who got to that position in an illegal way, as far as I'm concerned. There ain't no way he got 81 million votes and all these people now have just instantly turned on him. So.
Yeah.
What do you think, Marianne? I'm sorry, just rambling.
And I was okay about the election.
No, about everything in general. I mean, the way the nation's going. I mean, I think it's. I honestly, I think it's getting better. I think that they may say that it's, it's horrible out there, which it is a cool. But I think people are waking up and they realize they've been manipulated for years. What to say, what to think, what to watch, what to buy, where to live, everything. And so I think that they are now thinking, you know what? No, we're turning off this television set and we're going to go to alternative media and we're going to get things straight from the sources. And because you're not being told that people are being put on planes at 3 o'clock in the morning and flown from the border to Miami, Florida, or to Atlanta, Georgia, or to Detroit, Michigan, or wherever. They're shuffling people, illegals, without COVID test, without mask. They're shuffling people through airlines all over this country on charter flights or on commercial flights. And we've seen recent recordings where they have, been documented that this is indeed taking place. So there is a concerted effort to really transform this country, and I believe not for the better. So
Yeah.
I agree. I think there's a lot of bad things going on behind the scenes that most people don't know about. And I do think the mainstream media, they focus on the bad, and you can't get every reliable piece of information from the mainstream media. It takes a little bit more digging. And I'm learning that myself.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would think that if you are a journalist or someone is in the profession of investigative reporting, there are a few people who have, bunked the ranks and broken away from, like Barry Weiss at the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, or Ben Rhodes or other reporters who have come out and said, enough of this. I'm going to walk away and tell the truth. But there are so few of them, and those who do have the stories to tell and to share don't have a platform to do so. I mean, look at Joe Rogan. All he does is ask questions. What about this? I took ivermectin and this is how I was healed in 2 days. Well, oh, no, don't you dare say that. And so they do everything in their power to demonize him and try to shut him down and silence him and his voice. Well, look at what's his name, that one guy who said he was going to walk away from Spotify. I don't remember his name right now because he's so unimportant to me. But now he's back on Spotify again. And that woman who is the author, she said she was going to pull her stuff off. She couldn't even wait 9 days, and she's back on Spotify. They all say one thing, honey, but when the light turns and it goes in another direction, bam, put me back in. They want that money stream. Yeah. They want that cash flow. They're all a bunch of hypocrites, and the word means nothing anymore. Hypocrites mean nothing, just like the word racist means nothing anymore. They'll call you a racist if you don't agree with them. They'll call you a hypocrite if you don't agree with. These words are meaningless. There are real hypocrites out there, and there are real racists out there. But you get called. I mean, I've been called everything under the sun, but people just throw these terms around as some form of trying to control you. Oh, I'll shut you down. I'll shut you down right now, Miss Thing. Well, how are you going to do that? I'm going to call you a racist, or I'm going to call you a bigot, or I'm going to call you a xenophobe. Okay. You're a homophobe. Well, I'm a homophobe. I'm a homophobe. You're transphobic then. You're grannyphobic. You're against grannies. I'm not against anybody. I'm not against anybody, but that is the tool of the oppressive. They want to oppress you by trying to slander you. And that's the tool. Slander is the only tool that they have. And, once you say you're powerless against me, poo on you, then you've won. So, that's just the way to go. Poo on you. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I just, what you were saying earlier about everybody's just tired and they're going on with life. They're turning off all the media. I feel like they're breaking for me. I feel like when people just like, you know what, I'm just going to start on this summer. I'm going to enjoy my summer. I'm not going to be worried about no COVID. I'm not going to be in no building. And I feel like that's a setting free. I feel like that's when people going to realize, okay, it's not what they think it is. I can really live life and continue to live it moving forward. And I think that's where everybody's at. I think people are
good for you
in their life. Yeah. And
but you know what? I'll say it's sad, Jeff, that it's taking you 2 summers to get there.
I know.
You should have been doing this from day one.
But I was flying to Paris and everywhere. I was like, okay, I gotta keep it moving. Because I had the dream. He was like, oh, you covered, you good. So I kept it moving. But people just like my family, they like, you don't need to be doing that. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Life is like, I cannot, sit in the building and look out a window and waiting for them to say, oh, school is out at 3:00. The bell rung, you can go out now.
Yeah.
To me, that's crazy. Like, yeah,
exactly. You go out for 15 minutes and you got to come back.
Come back.
Put your mask back on and shut up. I mean, in New York, I mean, the children are having sometimes, I don't know if it's still going on, but they have to sit outside and eat their lunch with a mask on in the cold.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like snow skiing. I love to snow ski, but there's an incredible risk associated with snow skiing. But sometimes you have to have the risk benefit analysis when you try to understand what life is all about. Every day is a calculated risk. You get behind the wheel of your car, it's a calculated risk. You walk across the street, it's a calculated risk. You go to the wrong neighborhood, it's a calculated risk. You look at somebody crazy, it's a calculated risk. So what
That's
you do,
Jay's, I know.
you know, say everything in life is a risk. So you do the risk benefit analysis and you say to yourself, I'm good. Come on, bring it. I'm gonna live my life.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I mean, the thing was, this whole thing from the inception was, it had a 98, oh, was it 99.9 or 99.8? 99.8% survival rate if you were healthy to begin with.
Yeah.
And then, so everybody was, and they were clamoring, telling everybody, we got to shut down, we got to lock them down. Can't see your family. You can't have more than two people over for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'll say this, and some people might get mad at me for saying this, but James, what you said, if they're healthy, a lot of Americans are not healthy, and it's each person's responsibility to take charge of their health. So I see a lot of people who do get sick, they have a lot of comorbidities, but everyone's responsible for their own health.
Some people are genetically predisposed to certain things that they have no control over.
Sure.
I understand that. But yes, you're right. I mean, it's a choice to put those 5 Krispy Kreme glazed donuts in your mouth. It's a choice to have a whole piece of pie in one sitting. And these are some things that I'm guilty of.
Oh,
I can sit down and eat a half
I
dozen
can't tell.
of Krispy Kreme donuts.
really?
Yes. And a
I
big old,
can't tell.
I look at a donut and swell up. No, I cannot.
and a big old cold glass of milk. Sometimes I am weak too, but I try to have everything in moderation in life.
Yeah.
Moderation. I mean, I went to the Cheesecake Factory 2 nights ago. My piece of cheesecake I brought home with me, it's still in the refrigerator. I haven't been weak yet. I'm gonna have it today though. Oh, but it's all about moderation. And I just think, I hope people get back to living.
Yes.
and quit listening. Do more of this. Close your eyes and just live your life.
Live your life.
Live it from within.
Yeah.
And you know, this little light of mine.
I can't with you.
Anyway, you know,
Yeah.
it's up to all of us. You're right, Marianne. We have choices, and there is a huge amount of the American public population that is unhealthy. Got to get healthy. And if the government was really a leadership government, they would have been encouraging people to nutrition and exercise and get out on the beaches and this past summer, get outside and enjoy the fresh air. Instead, they wanted you to, lock down and hold your head under the cover and put your mask on and be afraid of the boogeyman, because that's a control mechanism. They can control you that way.
No,
I've been against leadership or authority all my entire life, whether it was my mother or my teachers. I was always, no, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. No, I ain't listening. So I'm not going to change my ways at this stage in life.
I hear you. So y'all, we have done it. I think y'all, we have made it to the end. Y'all have helped me because I struggled on today, but I made it through. And I thank God I made it through. But I thank you, Marianne, and I thank you, James, for helping, both of y'all helping me through this process on today. And this ends FNL Network Talk Show. And everyone have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.